Welcome everybody back to the Mabee Observatory right here at Bethel College. My name is Cade MacArthur, and today I'll be talking to you about some of the planets, stars, and other nighttime events that you can see this month. We will start with our planets, which are some of the brightest objects in our night sky, and then we will slowly move to dimmer and dimmer objects. Later, we will move on to deep sky objects for our more experienced observers. Some of these deep sky objects I will be showcasing could be used for our open house imaging events here at the observatory. So starting with our biggest planet in our solar system, we have Jupiter. Jupiter has been one of the best objects this year to observe since it appears early in the day and is always one of the brighter objects in the sky. Jupiter this month rises at about 12:30 in the afternoon, but you probably won't be able to spot it until sundown since, it's daytime. You can look for Jupiter almost directly overhead and slightly south starting at around 7 p.m. Next up, we have Saturn. Saturn, as the months have progressed, has slowly creeped its way closer and closer to the Sun as the Earth moves along in its orbit. Soon, Saturn will be impossible to spot in the coming months, since it will only be out during the daytime. However, if you're quick right now, you can spot Saturn on the horizon around sunset. Saturn is a lot less bright than Jupiter, so it might be difficult to spot among the stars. Uranus and Neptune are too far and too dim to see with the naked eye. This leads us to the early riser planets. Venus, which is the closest planet to us on average, is one of the brightest objects in our sky. Venus is so bright, in fact, that given the right equipment, Venus can cast a shadow on an object and be very noticeably detectable. Venus rises at an early 5:15 a.m. and is only visible for a couple hours before the sun comes up. Mercury, which is also another early riser, rises at 6 a.m. and disappears as the sun comes up as well. And last but not least, Mars will follow this trend right behind Mercury. Here are the moon phases for January, so you can plan your observations out. As the month goes on, the moon will become more full in the sky, which can drown out some of the objects you might want to observe this month. Both the moon and Jupiter on January 18th will become very close neighbors to each other in the sky. Events like these are called conjunctions between objects. So if you're having a tough time spotting Jupiter against the stars, wait until the 18th and look for the moon. Right below it will be Jupiter. There are a wide array of deep space nebula and galaxies we can find in the sky this month, and some of these might serve as target points for imaging here at our observatory. For now, we will stick with the ones that are high in the sky earlier in the night, and that fit within our field of view of our camera here at Bethel. Messier 74, or NGC 628, also known as the Phantom Galaxy, is a very small galaxy in our sky. Unlike Andromeda and the North American Nebula, which can span great distances in our sky, Messier 74 is small and faces Earth well for imaging. This galaxy can be found directly west and sets at around 1:30 a.m., allowing for plenty of time for exposures early in the evening. The Horsehead Nebula, which is part of a larger nebula in the Orion constellation, is in a great position to be imaged at this time of the year. It features very vibrant colors and showcases some infant stars in the process of forming. Nearby to the last object, we have the actual Orion Nebula. If you were lucky enough to see it when we had our open house a couple of months ago, this is about what it would look like with enough exposure and tweaking to it. A good way to look for objects in the sky is to use this free software called Stellarium. This software allows you to look in the sky in real time and allows you to skip time to see what the sky would look like even in the future. There is also a mobile app for Stellarium on the App Store, which is the same as this software here on the computer. This is similar to what we use here at the observatory, and it is completely free. During our last open house event, we imaged the Andromeda Galaxy using our smaller DSLR camera, and here is how our image came out. We used our smaller camera and smaller telescope since the Andromeda Galaxy is so large in our sky. If we were to have used our larger scope and camera, we would have to stitch together several images to capture the true scope of the galaxy. Even in this image, we are cutting out some of the outer gas clouds and some of the smaller galaxies which orbit Andromeda. But that is all I have here for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed and learned a little bit more about our night sky, and I will see you guys all next time.